Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh with Meta Endurance and today we're here in TRE in San Antonio, Texas. We're here with Adidas where we're going to be talking about the Prime X EVO. Harry, do you want to tell me a bit about the shoe?
Yeah, thanks for coming down and thanks for having us on the channel. Super proud to represent a big team from the headquarters. Worked on the Prime X EVO. It's a shoe that was used by 5 of our professional athletes to try and break the 100 kilometers in 6 hours in August in Italy, and yeah, it's quite a thing. If you want, I can take you through some of the technology, some of the ingredients that we put into the shoe.
Yeah, please. I mean, on this channel, we love to get down like nerdy into the gritty stuff. So anything that you can tell us about it would be much appreciated.
Yeah, good. So the architecture of the shoe, it's got a 50mm stack height for this one. This is actually Joe, so Joe Fukuda, one of the athletes who took part in the race. This is his UK7, has 50mm in the heel, a functional stack height. It actually has a sidewall height of around 75mm, so the heel is actually cradled a little bit, just over 2 centimeters inside the shoe for some stability. And then it has 44mm in the forefoot, taking it outside of World Athletics regulations. What also takes it outside of World Athletics regulations is for each of the 5 athletes, we built a completely custom shoe. So each of the 5 got a completely unique shoe. There wasn't 2 identical shoes on the start line. Joe, for example, has a very unique running style compared to somebody like Alexander, who has a different running style. So what we did is from the upper down, we used their 3D foot scan and created the upper volume based on their foot size and also based on how much their foot would shrink and then also how much their foot would expand as they dehydrate and rehydrate. We have a midsole technology. We have Lightstrike Pro EVO. So the similar compound as you see in Adidas Pro EVO 1, Pro EVO 2, but we really cranked the density down. We reduced the density of the foam by around 35%. Meaning that in Joe's UK7, this shoe weighs 132 grams. Inside the midsole, we have a new stiffening technology called the Energy Rim, which again, with the unique material that we were using for each athlete was tailored to their biomechanics. So we had 3 rounds of testing where we were looking at different materials, looking at different geometries, and really nailing what each athlete was going to respond to best, and always trying to maximize the amount of running economy benefit that they would have. And I think on the bottom, not to be forgotten, actually one of the really cool individual pieces of technology that we were able to use is a combination of continental rubber and light traction. And each athlete has a completely unique tailored grip pattern. So these cutouts were designed to be where the athlete doesn't need the rubber or the outsole, we cut away to reduce weight. And then where they really need it, especially at the toe off, we put continental rubber for that very trustworthy, lightweight, durable traction. Like I mentioned, the shoe comes in Joe's UK7, 132 grams. Super proud to present this one and also to be able to share this on behalf of the big team who worked on the project, and yeah, happy to have any questions.
Yeah, and so I guess because you had so many different athletes, and well, not many, so many different athletes, but 5, I believe it was.
Yes.
Was there kind of any variation in terms of weight between the shoes? Because some athletes maybe needed more midsole, others needed a bit less.
There was. So the biggest size that we had, for example, with Alexander, he actually has a UK 10 left foot, UK 10.5 right foot. So some of these very small, intricate details that we were able to engineer into the product that maybe we wouldn't be able to do under other regulations. In terms of stack height, each athlete responded differently to the different stack heights that we're able to put together, but most of the athletes responded to the maximum amount of stack height, but a couple of them were slightly lower or slightly higher depending on what they responded to and also depending on what our athlete performance team were able to evaluate from their running economy.
And so did you try and push the stack height to higher than 50 and the athletes started to respond to it a bit more negatively, or what did you find?
We found that there was a sweet spot, and for a lot of the athletes, this 50mm was around that sweet spot. We've tested a lot of things, either lower, higher. What's also really important is it's not just about the stack height, but it's also how much of that stack height actually deforms. So, you know, the shoe will, under no compression, it will be 50mm, but actually what's really important is during the stance phase or when the foot is in contact with the ground, how much deformation, how much cushioning you can actually leverage from the shoe. So you can have shoes, for example, that are 50mm, but if they don't deform as much as a shoe that's 40mm. With this one, we managed to squeeze out a lot of deformation in the shoe, and that's also why you see the amazing effort from Sibu, Alex, and Charlie, who were able to finish the race, and all 3 of them were underneath the world record time, with Sibu breaking 6.
Awesome. And you mentioned earlier that the midsole has kind of changed a little bit from the EVO. How has the compound changed? Have you changed like the the composition of the midsole, or what was that?
Yeah, so the athletes actually were able to select from the cushioning response that they wanted. So we had a number of different compounds that we used. Again, so each athlete had a different compound depending on if they like a very responsive, firm cushioning or a very soft but still responsive cushioning. The one that we have here, for example, which is Joe's, this was a slightly different compound, so it was a tweaked chemistry compared to what Light Strike Pro Evo is in the Evo. But again, the ethos is the same. It's the lightest, highest energy return and highest cushioning material that we could find. What was also very unique about the race was we had Ultrasharge technology. Ultrasharge is a way of getting the most out of a shoe by applying a massive amount of pressure inside a pressurized vessel before the race. And what that does is it tightens up and it stiffens up the intermolecular structure of the foam. And it enables us to get a very unique cushioning response, not just from compound and density, but also then from how much we pressurized it before the race. So we had all of the shoes before the race pressurized, and then we took them out of the pressure vessels, and they were kind of tight, ready to go. Yeah.
And what is the density of the midsole?
I can't tell you the exact density, but I can tell you it's around 35% lower than the Evo 1 and Evo 2 that you can find on the market today.
And obviously this is one of the specially designed ones for the athletes. It's now also available to buy on the Adidas website. How does this shoe differ from the one that's publicly available?
It doesn't. So apart from very, very minor changes that needed to happen between the race and commercialization, the shoe is pretty much one-to-one the same as what the athlete started and finished compared to what you'll be able to buy from Adidas Prime X EVO.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Harry, for telling us about this super awesome and innovative shoe from Adidas this year. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to follow on the channel. We have many other videos to come in the next few days from TRE, so we'll see you guys in the next one.